Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Everyone on the planet is talking about tariffs, so here's everything that has happened in the last week in global trade. President Trump started the week by announcing 25% tariffs on all imports coming from Mexico and Canada, plus an order to shut down de minimis imports. But then just a few days later, he delayed it until March 1st. Why? Because both countries complied with his demands, and I mean in the first place, they didn't even really have a choice. Because for both, more than 60% of their trade depends on the US. And while that was happening, things got even messier. Imports from China, well, those also got hit with a 10% tariff, stacking on top of the massive duties that Trump introduced in his last term through Section 301. And if you don't know what Section 301 is, just read the caption. And just like he did with Mexico and Canada, he also removed the de minimis treatment for China, but only to pause it a few days later after the entire e-commerce industry went into shock. And I'm sure that brands are relieved that this has happened. Had it not been the case, all orders from China could have had 3 duty fees applied to them. And this is still likely to happen in the foreseeable future, so any e-commerce brand that is shipping or sourcing from China should start planning now. And trust me when I say this was a crazy week, because the chaos didn't end there. On February 5th, out of nowhere, USPS suddenly suspended all orders coming from China and Hong Kong for nearly 12 hours. This is a big deal because the USPS is the main courier for de minimis shipments, which account for 92% of all cargo entering the US. And as you could probably tell by now, this week was a wake-up call for e-commerce brands. One minute everything looks stable, the next brands are reevaluating their entire supply chain strategies and realizing how fragile the whole system is. And that's about everything that's happened this week in global trade.